A very good afternoon to all of you. The topic of today's lecture is hypomagnesemia tetani. So, this is a metabolic disorder of cattle, and it occurs because of the whenever there is the reduced concentration of magnesium in the body and in the CSF. So, and this disease is having a various synonyms like lactation tetani, grass tetani, or milk tetani, winter hypomagnesemia. So, as I told you that it is having a various synonyms like lactation tetani, grass staggers, wheat partial poisoning, then milk tetani and winter hypomagnesemia. So, all these are the synonyms of these diseases. So, let us take some brief information about the magnesium. As we all know that this magnesium is the cation and it is present intracellularly. Its absorption generally takes place in the forestomach of the ruminant, and little bit absorption takes place in the abomasum and in the small intestine. And the major organ of homeostasis is the kidney, and the major reservoir of the magnesium is in the bone. So this is a metabolic disorder and which is characterized by the hyperexcitability or hyperesthesia, incoordination, tetany, and convulsion. All these clinical signs occur because of the reduced concentration of the magnesium in the body. So the factors which influence the absorption of magnesium is also very important because the for this absorption of magnesium, the ratio of sodium and potassium ratio should be 5 is to 1. So if the absorption is the normal ratio of the sodium and potassium is 5 is to 1 or it is more, then the absorption of this magnesium is good. But whenever there is the improper ratio of the sodium and the potassium, then it will impair the absorption of the magnesium. So whenever it is less than the 3 is to 1, then this absorption of the magnesium is impaired and it will lead to the hypomagnesemia. So this is very important that for the absorption of the magnesium, the sodium and the potassium ratio should be 5 is to 1. Now, as I said that this disease is having various synonyms like lactational tetany because in during the peak lactation in the dairy cattle, there is the more loss of the calcium, phosphorus, or magnesium from the milk. So because of this, it is known as the lactational tetany. And during the peak lactation, if the animal is having only the green grasses, then it will cause the more reduced concentration of the magnesium because these lush green grasses, they are having the low content of the magnesium. So because of this, it is known as the lactational tetany. Likewise, the grass tetany, if the animal is solely fed on the green grasses, lush green grasses, so in that condition also there will be the low concentration of the magnesium and it will cause the grass tetany. In milk tetany, why it is known as the milk tetany? Because when the calves are only fed the milk diet, then it leads to this milk tetany because the milk is having the low amount of the magnesium. Then the transit tetany or the winter tetany, because in during the prolonged transportation or during the stress developed by the transportation, there is the reduced concentration of the magnesium and it will lead to the hypomagnesemic tetany. So all these are the synonyms of the hypomagnesemic tetany. Now, the factors which are responsible for the hypomagnesemia are the first one is the starvation, when there is the long period of the starvation, then the high level of the potassium in the cereal crops. So this is very important that this potassium content should not be more in the green grasses, then it will cause the low absorption of the magnesium in the body and it will lead to the hypomagnesemia. Also, if the animal is only fed the young green grasses, so because these young green grasses are having the low magnesium content, and if we are feeding the animal the only the young green grasses, then it will lead to the hypomagnesemia. Also, this is very important that when the when there is the heavy application of fertilizers which is rich in the potassium and nitrogen. As I told that this potassium will hinder the absorption of the calcium, absorption of the magnesium. So this heavy application of fertilizers rich in potassium is also a factor which is responsible for the hypomagnesic tetany. Then the other factors are the diarrhea, because in diarrhea there will be the decreased absorption of the magnesium. Then when there is the cold or the very stressful environment, then also there will be the hypomagnesic tetany. So all these are the factor, and among these the very important factors which is very much important for the hypomagnesic tetany is the fed of the young green grasses. And also whenever there is the heavy use of the fertilizers which are rich in the potassium or nitrogen, and also when there is the high level of potassium content in the cereal crops, it will leads to the decreased concentration of the magnesium, further leading to the clinical sign of the tetany and the convulsions in the animal. Now, if we see the epidemiology, so this disease occur mostly in the cattle which graze on the lush grasses and mostly during the spring season. Then the cattle in the first 2 months of lactation and the age group of 4 to 7 years are the highly susceptible for these diseases. And the incidence of the disease, it also varies from the climate to climate, because the bad exposure or the bad weather condition is also having the relation to this diseases. Also, this hypomagnesemia is a problem of the grass dominant pasture. So because I told you that this grass or the lush grasses, young grasses, they are having the less content of the magnesium. So because of this, there will be having the deficiency of the magnesium in the body. Also, the sandy soil or the highly leached soil are magnesium deficient. Now, if we see the pathogenesis, so the normal magnesium or the normal range of the magnesium in the cattle is 1.7 to 3 mg per dl. So this normal content should also be also very important, and you should know that the magnesium, the normal range of the magnesium in the body is 1.7 to 3 mg per dl. So as you know that this magnesium is, what is the function of magnesium in the body? It is generally used in the impulse transmission and for the muscular activity. So whenever there is the this level of the magnesium is low in the body, that is below 1.7, then there will be the influence on the impulse transmission at the neuromuscular junction, and it will result in the release of acetylcholine. And because of this release of the acetylcholine, the threshold of the membrane, the muscle membrane, will be impaired, and it will cause the excessive muscular contraction. So because of this excessive muscular contraction, there is the clinical sign is the tetanic or the muscular spasm, tetany, or the conversion on the later stages. Also, the magnesium level, when there is the range of the magnesium is below the normal level, then also in the CSF, the magnesium are greatly reduced, and it will cause the central CNS symptoms in the body. Now coming to the clinical sign. So the clinical sign in this case is the unusual alertness or the clonic conversions, opisthotonous posture, nystagmus, champing of jaws, frothiness at the mouth, then retraction of the eyelids. Temperature is the above more than the normal temperature, that is 104 to 100 degree Fahrenheit, and that may occur in the acute cases. So all these are the clinical sign which is related to the nervous system. So because this nervous system is also involved and there is the high muscular activity, so all these are having this clinical symptoms related to nervous and the muscle. So there will be the conversion, opisthotonus, nystagmus, champing of the jaws. In subacute lactation tetany, there is the gradual onset of this clinical sign. There will be this slight inappetence, then the wildness in the facial expression, then the spasmodic urination or the frequent defecation, the appetite or the milk yield will be decreased, muscle tremor or mild tetany can be seen in the hind limbs, and the treatment is usually effective, but in these cases there is the tendency to relapse the disease. Now, chronic lactation tetany, in the chronic cases, there is the animals or in the herd there is the low serum magnesium level, but the animals do not show any clinical sign. And the clinical sign generally is dullness, unthriftiness, or inappetence. So all these are the sign in the chronic lactation tetany. And generally in the chronic cases, it may lead to the development of paralysis or the milk fever like syndrome. If we see the clinical pathology, so for the diagnosis, we should do the serum biochemistry or the serum biochemical examination. The normal serum magnesium level in the body is, as I told you, that it is the normal range is in the 1.7 to 3 mg per dl. But if it is below 1 mg per dl, then it is the condition of the hypomagnesic tetany. In CSF also, the normal level of magnesium in the CSF is 2 mg per dl, but if it is less than 1.25 mg per dl, it indicates this disease. Then in the urine, the magnesium level is 1 to 2 mg per dl, but if it is less than 1 mg per dl, it is the condition of the hypomagnesic tetany. So this sometimes the magnesia or hypomagnesemia, it is also seen with the hypocalcemia. So with the low content of magnesium in the body, the low calcium is also seen. And there is the elevation of the muscle enzymes because the enzyme muscular activity is more in this case. There will be the elevation of serum AST and creatinine phosphokinase activity. Now, if we see the post-mortem examination after the death, when the magnesium content of the bovine in the vitreous humor is considered to be the accurate estimate of magnesium status. So here it is very important that after the death, if we are doing the post-mortem examination and we are suspecting that it is a case of hypomagnesic tetany, then we have to check the magnesium content of bovine vitreous humor. So this vitreous humor magnesium content is the accurate measure of the magnesium status in the body after death. So the level of the magnesium in the vitreous humor is 1.8 to 2.3 mg per dl. But if it is less than 1.4 mg per dl, then we can say that the animal was suffering from the hypomagnesic tetany. Now coming to the treatment, if we see the treatment, there are various intravenous infusions which we can use for the hypomagnesic tetany. So for this, we have to give the 500 ml of 25% calcium borogluconate and 5% magnesium hypophosphite intravenously for the cattle, and in the sheep 50 ml for the sheep, and followed by the subcutaneous injection. So here this is important that for the treatment we have to give the 500 of 25% borogluconate and 5% magnesium hypophosphite intravenously. Then other solution like magnesium sulfate 20% or 10% or 50%, different solutions are there. So we have to give these infusion intravenously to the affected animal. Now, if we see the differential diagnosis of this disease is the acute lead poisoning, because all these like acute lead poisoning, rabies, then nervous ketosis, nitrate poisoning, all these diseases, they are having the more or less similarity more or less similarity in the hypomagnesic tetany, because in this case also there is the nervous sign or high muscular activity. So in this, all these diseases we have to differentiate it from this disease which are having the muscular high muscular activity or which are having the nervous sign. So like in acute lead poisoning, there is the main characteristic sign is the blindness, and there will be the history of exposure of to the lead. Then in rabies, the tetany is absent, but there is the paralysis. Like in nervous ketosis, also there is the nervous sign, but there is the ketonuria, presence of the ketone bodies in the urine. Then in the nitrate poisoning also nervous sign is there, but the urine is the color is the coffee color. So these are all the examples of the diseases which are having the similarity to this hypomagnesemia tetani. So we have to rule out these conditions also while confirming the hypomagnesemia tetani. Now coming to the control, for the control of this condition, we have to give the daily supplementation of magnesium oxide, 60 gram for cows and 7 gram for the sheep. Also, they say that this 120 gram of magnesium supplement is safe and effective, but if we are giving the 120 gram of magnesium, more than 120 gram of magnesium supplement, then it may lead to the diarrhea. So 60 gram to 120 gram is the most appropriate, and we can feed to the animal daily on the daily basis. Then there are the magnesium rich pellets. So by feeding the magnesium rich pellets, we can prevent this condition. Then there are also the heavy bullet of magnesiums available, and these bullets are generally placed in the reticulum, from which it constantly liberate the small amount of the magnesium, like 1 gram per day in the body. And also, for if the area is of having more green pasture, then we have to do the dressing or the top dressing of the pasture with the calcinized magnesite or the magnesic limestone. Also, the foliar dusting and spraying can be used before grazing into the pasture. So the spraying of 2% magnesium sulfate at fortnightly interval, or the ground this finely ground magnesium oxide can also be used before grazing to the pasture. So all these were the points for the prevention and control of the disease. So this was all about the hypomagnesic tetany. Here, the important point to be note is that the synonym of the disease, then what is the cause of the disease, like low concentration of the magnesium, and what are the factors which are responsible for this condition, like high content of the potassium in the crop, and if there is having the high application of the fertilizers which are having more in concentration of the potassium and nitrogen. So all these are the factors which are responsible for the hypomagnesic tetany. So factors are also important, then clinical sign, and most importantly the normal level of the magnesium in the body, in the serum magnesium concentration, and also the magnesium content in the CSF. And then the most important thing is that for the confirmation if the animal died, so at the post-mortem examination we have to check the vitreous humor, we have to check the magnesium content of the vitreous humor. So this is also very important, and the treatment of this disease. So this was all about this disease. Thank you.